Yesterday morning, we had a Nintendo Direct partner showcase, but instead of telling you why it was good or why it wasn't good, I just want to go through every single game they talked about and tell you whether or not I'm excited for it, talk a little bit about my opinions on what we saw in yesterday's presentation, because on this channel, I feel like I've done just a lot of speculation over the past couple of months, and I kind of just want to talk about some games I'm excited for, or maybe not excited for. So today we're going to be doing just that, going over every single game that was shown in the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. Let's get into it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and yesterday we are talking about the partner showcase that we got yesterday. Of course, I did a live reaction to it. You can go check out that on the channel. But yeah, today I just want to talk about every single game we got in this partner showcase, as well as talk about my experience with some of the games, because I actually did play, I think, everything that got dropped immediately, except for the Pepper Grinder demo. I played the Contra demo. I played a lot of the Unicorn Overlord demo. I have a couple hours in Penny's Big Breakaway, so I've actually played a lot of the stuff that was shown here as well, so I can give some of my my experience with that here as well. So starting off, they opened with Grounded, which I actually played on PC back when it was in early access, or maybe I guess I played it on an Xbox probably, but Grounded is a 4-player co-op survival game, not dissimilar to like a Subnautica or, you know, just Ark, The Forest, just any of those like survival crafting games. I don't know why I led with Subnautica there. Maybe that's not the best comparison, but Grounded is pretty fun. It's like this, you know, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of concept where you're all really small and you're in a yard. I always love settings like this. However, the Switch version from this trailer does not look very good. I'll be completely honest. I think this, the graphics on this one definitely look a little stinky, even for the Switch. I feel like they could have done a better job, but maybe this was a sacrifice made to get the frame rate running better. We haven't seen actual impressions of this version yet because it doesn't come out until April 16th, but it's not something I would be really that interested in going back to personally, but it is a big deal just because it's an Xbox game. This is, I mean, aside from Ori, of course, this is the first major Xbox game to come over to another platform. So it's definitely interesting to see from that perspective, but not something I'll be checking out personally, although I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be excited to play this on their PlayStation or their Switch, so definitely cool to see. Next up, we had a new announcement, I believe. I think this game was previously unannounced. We have Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. Now, this is a sequel to Ender Lilies. I actually have that game, but I haven't played it, and I really want to now. I mean, I always wanted to play it, right? But whenever a sequel gets announced to a game that I wanted to play, or maybe I owned and hadn't gotten around to, I'm always like, I gotta go back and play the original game finally. This looks so freaking awesome. The art is awesome. I think the title is really cool. Ender Magnolia just sounds sick. This is a 2D Metroidvania kind of action game with just really, really nice visuals, and I'm definitely going to be trying to get through Ender Lilies now before this comes out later this year. Just looks absolutely fantastic, and I mean, the reviews for the first game were really high as well, so this is definitely something I have my eye on. After that, they showed a game called A Ranger, which I will just be honest, I am not really that interested in this. I'll give it this. It is an interesting concept. You're like moving with the floor, or like the ground and the levels, but I don't know, like, this is the kind of thing that, like, if it was a Wii U game back in 2015, I would have been going crazy for it, but there's just so much to play. No offense to the game itself, it looks good. I just have so much other stuff I'd rather play that personally I'm not going to be checking this one out, but it does look good if nothing else. Then they showed a trailer for Unicorn Overlord, the new kind of tactical RPG from Vanillaware, also being published by Atlas. This is, I mean, the easiest comparison would be Fire Emblem. However, it's really interesting. So they shadow dropped a demo. I have like 2 hours in the demo. Basically, it's Fire Emblem, but you move in groups of like 5 or 6. So you have your little squadrons, and you kind of set them up in a formation within that little set of characters, and then you move them based on that set of, you know, however many characters it is. Right now, you only have a couple characters per unit, but I assume later on you'll have like full sets of 6, right? It's really interesting gameplay, really fantastic voice acting. Obviously, Vanillaware is known for their beautiful visuals. This is a game that was on my radar, but admittedly, I was like, well, am I really going to play Unicorn Overlord? You know, there's so many other games coming out. Just this morning, we had the review scores for 7 Rebirth come out over on PlayStation 5, and that game is reviewing incredibly well, and I'm going to have to play that. So I don't even know if I'll be able to get to the full game of Unicorn Overlord. But after playing this demo, which I'm not even done with yet, it's a very long demo, yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying to squeeze Unicorn Overlord in if I can in March. I mean, I think between 7 Rebirth and Princess Peach, which should be a pretty short game, I don't think there's much else in March for me, at least not off the top of my head, so I think I might be able to do it. And this would be my first Vanillaware game. I've always wanted to play 13 Sentinels and even like Muramasa and those other games they made, but this one really is speaking to me right now. So I'm going to try and hopefully finish this one, but we don't have reviews yet. I'm assuming this is going to be like a 60-hour game, an 80-hour game. It's probably pretty beefy. And then after that, they announced something that I am personally very, very excited for. Monster Hunter Stories is getting a Switch port, and of course coming to PlayStation as well. Now, I played like 10 hours of Monster Hunter Stories 2 on Switch, and I really, really enjoyed it. I can't remember what happened. I think around that time, Metroid Dread was coming out or something, so I kind of just got distracted, but I really enjoyed what I played of it. But I remember when I was playing it, I was always thinking, man, I really wish I had started with the first game, and at that point, I didn't have it on 3DS. I do have it on 3DS now, but I was always kind of hopeful they would bring it to Switch and other platforms, because there was an HD iOS version, but now they're bringing it to modern platforms. They're adding full voice acting to it, and I am super excited about this. This is one of like the Capcom ports that I was waiting on, because it just makes too much sense to bring this over, so I'm very happy they're finally doing it. I hope it gets a physical release. They didn't confirm that. I don't think pre-orders have gone up anywhere. Really hoping for a physical in this one. But either way, Monster Hunter Stories coming over, very exciting in my opinion. This one surprised me because it didn't get leaked by Puro. Epic Mickey Rebrush. So they're remaking the original Epic Mickey game on the Wii, which, once again, which is the case with a lot of these games. These are games I missed when they originally came out, and I've always wanted to go back to, but I just haven't for one reason or another. Epic Mickey is a game I really wanted to play as a kid, and then I didn't get it, and then eventually, things happened, and I just never went back to it. And I've always wanted to play it. So to see a full remake of Epic Mickey coming to the Switch later this year is very exciting. I think it is $60, which in my opinion, I feel like, maybe that's a little bit much, but it is being done by the team that remade Battle for Bikini Bottom, and they made that Cosmic Shake game last year. So I think this should be pretty good, and I'm excited to check this out. After that, we got the announcement of Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, which once again, I really wanted to play SMT5. I just never got around to it. With JRPGs in particular, I always kind of just like, either I hit it hard when it comes out and I make, great strides to finish it, or I don't even start it. SMT5 is unfortunately one of those games I just didn't start, and I guess I'm kind of happy I didn't, because it seems like this is just a better version in every way, although I am a little confused on what's happening here, because I read somewhere that apparently there's like an entire new game in this. So, I mean, SMT4 on 3DS is one of my favorite games of all time. I never played Apocalypse, but my understanding of Apocalypse is it's just a straight-up sequel to SMT4. SMT5 Vengeance doesn't feel like a sequel. It feels more like a Persona 5 Royal situation, but with, like, even more substantial content added. Let me know in the comments below if you have played SMT5 based on this trailer. I mean, I'm probably not going to do this, but, like, would it be worth it to play the original SMT5 before this comes out? Because it really does feel like a substantial, not only just upgrade, but just new story content, maybe interwoven with the already pre-existing story, where I guess it's going to be a different ending too. Very weird. Maybe I'll just watch a synopsis of the original game or something, but at that point I'll be spoiling parts of this new version. It's very weird. Atlus's weird re-releases are always very weird to me, but this is coming out in June. Definitely going to be trying once again to pick this up if I can make time for it, because SMT5, beyond the performance issues, did review very well on the Switch. I'd probably pick it up on PlayStation personally, but still a very exciting announcement. And you know what else was an exciting announcement? The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. This was actually one of my main pop-offs during my reaction to this Nintendo Direct. Now, as a kid, I loved Battlefront 2, and even the modern EA Battlefront games. I mean, I played a lot of Battlefront 2015, and I know they're not like, one-to-one similar games, but I love Battlefront, and to see these games finally come over with full online is so freaking exciting. I haven't played these original games since I was a kid. I remember playing Battlefront 2 on PS2 with my brother and stuff, and just kind of messing around, not really knowing what I was doing. I'm so excited Aspire's finally bringing these over. I mean, they feel like they ported every other Star Wars game known to man, and these are like the most obvious ones, so to finally see this happen is very, very exciting, and I will be checking it out. I'm hoping for a physical release or something from Limited Run, but I'll probably just bite on a digital copy on PlayStation, so yeah, very excited for that. Next up, they showed off South Park Snow Day, which is coming out in March. I didn't grow up with South Park. I don't really have any affinity for South Park. I don't think this game looks very good, in my opinion, but hey, another South Park game for those that enjoy them. Then they announced a new Sword Art Online game, Fractured Daydream. I'm like 10 years past my Sword Art Online phase, right? I mean, when I was like 13, I was like, oh, Sword Art Online is really cool. I only ever watched the first season, and I remember back then I really wanted to get, I think it was Hollow Realization on Vita. I thought that game looked super cool, even though reading reviews reviews, they're pretty like basic games. Although this game has a really cool like online 20-player multiplayer, it looks like, which is super intriguing to me. Not something I'll ever play, but I respect what they do with these sort of online games. They just churn them out like butter, man. And maybe that's a bad thing, but I'm kind of into it. Next up, they announced Gundam Breaker 4. Now, I believe this game is already out in Japan, or at the very least, some of these Gundam games come out in Japan and we never get them in the West, it feels like. This game looks sick. I'm not a Gundam guy, but I might be checking this out. This might be my foray into Gundam because it looks a lot like Daemon X Machina, and I freaking love Daemon X Machina. You're customizing your mech, you're doing these co-op missions with friends. This looks super cool. So this is coming out later this year. There's a really cool special edition that comes with like a Gundam figure. Might have the cop? Probably not. But yeah, I thought that looked really cool. Then we got the announcement of Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Now, the only Monkey Ball game I've played is Banana Mania, the remake of, I think it was 1 and 2, right? And I'll be honest, I didn't really like it. Monkey Ball is a franchise I've always like really wanted to get into. Like I've always really wanted to try because it looks so much fun. But then you play it and it's like really frustrating. But with all the party modes they're adding to this, with like the 16-player online, I think it is, this is something I'm very keen on checking out because I feel like maybe a more modern Monkey Ball game is just what I'm looking for. Maybe I'm just a baby and need to play Banana Blitz with all the guardrails. I don't know. But definitely very interesting to see this announced as a console exclusive as well. The other remakes of Monkey Ball games haven't been exclusive. I mean, this is a new game, but it is console exclusive. Definitely makes me, want to put on my speculation cap and think, did Nintendo pay for this because they don't have much else this year? I'm not sure, but it comes out in June, and it's, definitely exciting. I mean, I saw a lot of people very excited because this is the first new Monkey Ball game in over 10 years, I think, so definitely an exciting announcement from Sega. World of Goo 2. I love Tamara Corporation and 2D Boy, however, and this is a hot take. This is a very hot take. Maybe I need to revisit the original World of Goo, but I remember not liking it that much. In fact, it was my least favorite of their games, which I know is crazy because, I mean, World of Goo was like the fan favorite Tomorrow Corporation 2D Boy game, but Little Inferno I thought was more charming and fun, and then I actually really loved Human Resource Machine. I haven't played 7 Billion Humans, but I love their other games. Maybe, like I said, maybe I just need to go back to World of Goo. Maybe I was like 10 when I played it. Maybe I just didn't get it at the time. I don't freaking know. But World of Goo 2, another console exclusive, interestingly, coming out in May. Definitely a big deal if you're a fan of World of Goo. I mean, this is a classic WiiWare series, so finally getting a sequel is definitely a big deal. Then we had a new trailer for Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. I am so excited for this game, and just at Level 5's entire slate. I mean, this is the only game we saw from them in this partner showcase, but Fantasy Life I looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely a day one purchase for me. Switch exclusive, I believe, as far as we know. Yeah, I'm totally buying this game. Coming out a little bit later than we thought. It's coming out on October 10th. 2024. They initially had announced summer, and of course, if you aren't aware, before that, it was supposed to come out in 2023. So that's a pretty freaking big delay, but either way, I'm sure the wait will be worth it. Fantasy Life looks fantastic. I'm really excited to try out this and, of course, play with friends. Then we got a new trailer for another Crab's Adventure, alongside the confirmation outside of the Direct that it's going to be on Game Pass day one, so if I played it, I would play it there. It looks really cute and charming, and I follow the devs on Twitter, and they're really fun. I don't like the voice acting in this game. I don't think this game needed voice acting. I don't know. That was my takeaway from the trailer. The game looks like a lot of fun. It's a Souls-like crab game, but I don't know if this game needed voice acting. I feel like it just adds a certain level of, like, budget to the game. I don't know how to explain it, but the game looks like a lot of fun. Definitely something I probably won't play it realistically, but it does look cool. Then we got the confirmation finally that Penny's Big Breakaway would be shadow dropping in this Nintendo Direct with a new trailer. And I've played maybe an hour or two of this game. I gotta be honest, it's fun, and I like the art style and direction and all that. I have seen so much positivity for this game on Twitter, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but this game needed like another year of development. It's so freaking janky. I wish I had bought it on PS5. I wasn't even thinking when I bought it. I was like, oh, it's like a 3D platformer. That makes more sense to buy on Switch. That's where I play platformers. Apparently, the Switch version runs at 30, where the PS5 version runs at 120. I'm not sure if the PS5 version is more polished or what, but yeah, definitely I don't know, I've been seeing so much hype for this game, and like the movement feels really good once you get used to it, but even then it is still a little bit janky using the yo-yo. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think it's as good as people are saying, but it is a fun game if you look past the jank. Now, after that, they actually had another megaton announcement for me. They announced some Suagame DLC. Now, Suagame, first of all, freaking fantastic puzzle game. I played it a ton last year. But more importantly than that, My girlfriend loves this game. So for them to be adding this multiplayer time limit mode, versus mode, attack mode, like, that is so exciting. It's only like $1 or $2 on the eShop. I already played it. We've already played some. If you haven't played Suagame, I mean, it looks very simple. It looks like a mobile game, but it's just a really relaxing, fun, little 2D puzzle game. So for it to finally be getting a new major update was very exciting and also just unexpected. It's cool to think, like, of how Nintendo views indie games. Like, this game was not on anybody's radar for like a full year until randomly it just blew up because of a TikTok streamer in Japan, and now it's getting shown in a partner showcase, which is just very, very cool to see how that happens. Next up, they showed Pepper Grinder. I know this game has been in development for a very long time, coming out in March. I'm not sure if I'll check it out, but it does look very good, I will not lie. Very fluid movements, very nice pixel art, and there is a demo, so maybe I'll check out that later today, now that I have a little bit more time. Then they showed off Pocket Card Jockey Ride On. This is the Apple Arcade remake of Pocket Card Jockey from the 3DS. Of course, if you don't know, this is a Game Freak game. I did already buy this, although I kind of regret it because it's $15, which I feel like is a little bit much, and I already have it on 3DS, but my girlfriend is interested in playing it, so I guess it's fine. It's fun. If you haven't played it, it's a very fun game. It's solitaire, but you're horse racing, you're breeding horses, you're raising new horses. Like, it's a really cool concept and can be pretty addictive for sure. Now after that, we got a sizzle reel. I'm not sure if I need to talk about every single thing here. This is where we saw Contra Operation Galuga. It's Contra. Like I said, I played like 10 minutes of the demo. It's fine. They announced Pentiment in this sizzle reel, which I thought was very interesting. I mean, they didn't really give it too much of a shine. They're just like, yep, Pentiment releasing tomorrow. So maybe I'll check out that. I think Limited Run announced a physical copy, so I'll probably just wait for that if I do end up getting it. Demon Slayer, Sweep the Board. I mean, it's a Demon Slayer Mario Party game. That's cool. I probably won't buy that game, but like, I like that anime games are finally getting weird again. Like, on the PS2, there were so many random anime games, but for the past 2 generations, it has been a lot of that, you know, 3D arena fighter, which I'm personally okay with because I think those are the best anime games. I think Naruto Storm is the template that most anime games should use because it is the most fun, at least in my opinion. But it is nice to see some quirky spin-offs. We have this Demon Slayer game. We're getting that Anya Spy Family game where you just like take her to the freaking aquarium. I don't know. I'm not going to buy that, but it's nice to have some variety, which I think also just like worth noting. This Direct has so much variety. Even if not every game is for me, at the very least, I'm interested in almost everything, at least a little bit. And for the games that I'm not interested in, like South Park, I'm sure there are plenty of people that are excited to play a multiplayer South Park game. Now, after that, we did have 2 final announcements. They announced a bunch of new Switch Online games from Rare, which is also just really exciting to see more games from Rare coming to NSO. We still don't have Donkey Kong 64, which is crazy to me. That's just crazy. Or Diddy Kong Racing as well. So, I mean, those will definitely be coming. But we got Snake, Rattle, and Roll. We got RC Pro-Am on the NES. We got Killer Instinct on SNES. We got Battletoads, Battle Maniacs or something. And then the final one we got over on N64 was Blast Corps. Now, I actually went through and played all of these for a little bit with my friend Tucker. Killer Instinct's a lot of fun. I've never played Killer Instinct before. I will say that. Snake, Rattle, and Roll, we were having a really funny time with because it's just a really goofy game on the NES. RC Pro-Am, actually, for an NES racing game, like, you know, it's more of a novelty to go back to a lot of these games because, frankly, there are better modern counterparts, but it's a lot of fun. Even Blast Corps, which I think I actually want to check out more of on my own time, because it's not a multiplayer game. We were just kind of passing the controller virtually through NSO. Blast Corps seemed like a lot of fun. Just very quirky movement, destruction game. Battletoads, I'm not a huge fan of beat-em-ups, so not for me, but Killer Instinct, once again, like I mentioned, is also pretty fun. Very nice NSO drop, and then the final announcement was Endless Ocean Luminous, which in my opinion, and I know a lot of people have a lot of controversial thoughts on this this closer for this Nintendo Direct. I think this game looks really cool. I think people need to stop taking this so seriously. Not every Direct needs to end on like some crazy AAA Game of the Year contender game. That's just my opinion, especially going into this knowing it was a partner showcase. I'm just like, come on, guys, let's just have some fun. It's not everything has to be about complaining about not getting the game you wanted, right? So Endless Ocean Luminous, as someone who's never played Endless Ocean, I think this looks really fun. They added this 30-player multiplayer mode, just going scuba diving with the boys, just looking at fish. I think that could be really fun. I think this game could low-key end up being like a little zeitgeist game where people are posting it on TikTok. It's like, oh, look, I'm scuba diving. I don't know. I feel like this game, yes, it is definitely not what most people would want when they talk about, oh, I want a dead Nintendo franchise to come back. But it's a new game, which I think is a big deal because I think a lot of us were expecting, based on Puro's teasing, that it would be a remake of 1 and 2. It's a new game. It has a really cool new multiplayer mode. I think it looks pretty good. People are saying the graphics are really bad. I'm like, yeah, they're not freaking PS5 visuals, but I think for a Switch game it looks fine. I mean, I don't know, it looks okay. It's $50, which maybe it could be 40, but it's not full price, and it's getting a physical. It comes out on May 2nd. Like, as a Nintendo fan, first of all, it's nice to have that little roadmap extended because of, you know, after Princess Peach, we had nothing, but now we have something from Nintendo first party coming out after Princess Peach. But also, it's just always nice to see them bring back random stuff like this. I would have never asked for another Code remake, and now another Code will probably end up being in my top 10 games of the year. So, hey, I'm going to take their word for it. If they think they're cooking something good here, I'm going to take their word for it, and I will try it out and give it a fair shake. And I'm excited to do that. And that was every game in the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. I am excited for a lot of these games. I'm going to be trying out a lot of these things if I can get to them. That is the asterisk on all of this here, because, you know, like SMT5 Vengeance, I really want to play, but am I going to, though? Unicorn Overlord, you know, I'm playing this demo, and I'm really enjoying the demo, but am I going to put 60 hours into it? That remains to be seen, but I'm really hoping I can get through a lot of the games in this Partner Showcase. Let me know down in the comments below, what games from the Partner Showcase are you excited for, and what games maybe didn't speak to you? I'd love to get a conversation going. Of course, if you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch news, speculation, discussions like this pretty much each and every day, I would appreciate you subscribing. You can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. You can join my Discord that is linked down below. And until next time, folks, peace!